Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast, and this is actually game 2 in the best of 3 series that I cast the day before. I didn't have time to cast this game, unfortunately, so I am now casting it. We have Roxas Abver spawning as the purple Zerg on the north side of Steps of War versus Mouse Mana spawning over here as the red Protoss player. Now, to answer a couple questions that people have been posting on my channel, yes, I do read about 95% of my comments, so I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to cast my own games, and right now none of my games have really been replay worthy and cast worthy, so I've decided not to cast any of those games until I improve a little bit better. I'm only number 1 in Diamond right now. I haven't yet broken into Masters as I'm learning and trying to tighten up my build orders. We now see Mana moving out with this red probe. Will be able to come up that ramp in just a second and start to do some scouting. Meanwhile, taking a look in Abver's base, Abver, he could open up with the spawning pool, or he could open up with a hatchery. Not 100% sure what he's going for right now, as Mana now just walking around over here, going to be able to come into this section, and now we see a drone making its way out. So the drone looking to do some scouting of his own, or perhaps trying to hide himself to become a hatchery. No, it looks like that is just going to be a standard scouting drone there. The probe now making its way over, making sure that there is not a hatchery down over here. You can see the extractor already coming in from Abver. There's that spawning pool. The probe going to come back up that ramp and realize, oh, there's an extractor, there's a spawning pool. That means there's not going to be a hatchery for quite some time. Drone now trying to take down this gateway over here. Gateway has plenty of shields, plenty of hit points. It will not get taken down. And now we should probably be getting a Cybernetics core. Yeah, a pylon now coming in, so it's going to be a pylon and then a Cybernetics core. Then the gateway has taken some damage, and now in comes a probe, so the probe wants to get in on some of that action as well. Peppy, the probe, and chasing away Daisy, the drone. The drone now just trying to run away, and it looks like he's just going to run through this mineral line and then grow up to be an extractor. Or as many drones like to do, they like to grow up to be an extractor and then fall short. Back over here, we now see a drone trying to chase away one probe. The probe just wandering back and forth. We now see some Zerglings being trained up as well, in addition to a queen being trained up. Back over here, the extractor may get cancelled at just the last second and then rebuilt. Is it going to be that way? No, Abver is actually growing up that extractor. Interesting thing to note, the extractor is the only Zerg building that doesn't take damage when it is off of creep. So if you didn't know that, that is true. You can never, an extractor will not bleed to death just because it is off of creep. In fact, it actually regenerates hit points, I believe. Anyways, back in the game over here, we now see one Zealot Warp standing in position right there, will be able to hold off a lot of units. And now we see some probes making their, or one probe making their way out. Once again, Zerglings now making their way out. So it looks as though Abver going for a very, very aggressive Ling build, not producing any additional drones and not even getting gas. So this is going to be more of a Zerg versus Zerg strategy where he's going to rush with Lings. That is going to be a lot of Lings to deal with. We can now see that that one sentry is trying to be chrono boosted out of there. The Zerglings are going to try to swarm into that position right there, perhaps get some damage, and now in comes that damage onto that Zealot, being very careful to micro away that lower hit point Zergling. Very beautiful micro. Only lost one Zergling so far. May try to come back in, lost 2 Zerglings. A new Zealot now going to come in, and Zerglings now going to swarm through here, get some damage, and now this is going to be a problem. Zerglings running through the base, the Zealot trying to hold up against the wall there, one Zergling trying to get back, and now that Zealot, this one pylon may get taken down, and that's going to be an even bigger issue as those Zerglings are going to peck away at this pylon. This pylon will stop the production, and down goes the pylon, so both the Cybernetics core and that gateway are no longer able to train up anything else, and it's going to be quite some time. More Zerglings are going to try to funnel in. Will they be able to get through? No! Perfect timing. I believe that was a little bit of luck right there. Zerglings now trying to peck away at this pylon. The pylon, however, going to take some damage, and now Zerglings trying to pull away once again. That pylon will perhaps get cancelled at the last second, or just try to warp in once again. 2 more pylons may come in from behind. Another gateway, so there's that gateway. And now one Zealot going to try to hold off in that position there. Zerglings are dealing even more damage. Another pylon being warped in. Mana doing a great job just trying to hold off against this Zergling knocking on this front door. A lot of damage is being dealt. Zerglings continue to push through this gateway, now down to 212 hit points. I believe this gateway may actually fall, and if this gateway falls, then no more production units at all. More units now trying to be warped in, and now Zerglings coming in for the swarm once again, getting a lot of damage on these Zealots. Another force field blocking the ramp. Sentry will get taken down. Another Zealot will get taken down. And now Mana is in trouble. There is one gateway here and another gateway here. So that is going to be the majority of those production buildings. The Warp Gate research has been completed. So that will help with the additional training of more units. This pylon going to get taken down. Perhaps another one as well. There are a lot of pylons here, but Mana is nowhere near being supply locked at all. This gateway will upgrade, but that is about it. And now trying to warp in more units, and this pylon will get taken down in just a second. No, not getting taken down. Zerglians once again in for the swarm, taking down many of those probes. Another force field coming in, but I believe that sentry is now out of energy. Zerglians now trying to come in as well. There is one pylon down to 28 hit points. Zerglians just running around on the inside, going to be able to barrel through once again, getting some damage, taking down the sentry before the sentry, able to get a force field off. So that was important there. No additional reinforcements at all, trying to get more sentries before they warp in. Zerglings just running around on the inside here. Many of those units have been taken down. Another pylon may get taken down in just a second, so no additional warp-ins over here, so that is going to be a problem. Zerglings now continuing to fight back and forth. Zealots are over here now. And wow, what a fast, crazy paced game. A lot of micro coming in. More pylons need to be warped in. No buildings can be warped in here. A little bit of an... somehow the Cybernetics Corps able to recharge those shields, even though there isn't a pylon. In comes that force field. So perfectly placed once again, splitting that army. I think that was just a matter of luck there. One Zergling now running around on the inside. Taking a look at the harvester count, 12-9. So it is not really that big of an economic difference. The Zerglings are trying to get more damage in here. Perhaps going to be able to take down that Cybernetics Corps. Zerglings now trying to once again swarm in. More Zealots now coming in. Zerglings now attempting to take down the pylons. So that without any pylon power, he will not be able to warp in units. Zerglings just quickly running by. One pylon will get taken down. Another pylon may perhaps will get taken down. No, going straight for that mineral line, taking down some of those probes. And now one more pylon has been taken down. So Mana down to 14/18, 13/18. And there's the GG. Wow. That was a very, very fast game, but a lot of action. Really well played by Abver. Abver using a strategy that's more common in Zerg versus Zerg against Protoss in this instance. And with that, he was able to just knock on that front door and push through very easily, getting a lot of damage. And he didn't mine any additional gas after that. Or did he mine gas? I do not think he mined any gas. 2,400, yeah. Once he got exactly 24 or 100 gas out of this extractor, he just pushed through and just trained Zerglings. And that superb Zergling micro in the early portion of the game is really what carried him. Pulling back low hit point Zerglings after they took 2 attacks from a Zealot, and then letting them regenerate back over here, and then once again flooding back in. That one Zealot did a lot of damage and held his own, but it just wasn't enough as those Zerglings were constantly getting replaced. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Roxas Abver and Mouse Mana. 3 very exciting games between these two players.